Earlier today, I was reading through my pocket edition of the United States Constitution, as one does. And this particular edition is great because it includes some extra documents, one being, of course, the Declaration of Independence. Now, if I flip through here and get to it, Declaration of Independence in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. Everyone knows that header, but what follows is one of the most badass things I have ever read. So to set the scene, we have 13 colonies, all of which were sponsored and created by Great Britain, starting with Jamestown in Virginia and spreading along the East Coast. And as we know, the British weren't exactly good to the colonists. There was a lot of mistreatment, taxation without representation, and a lot of just BS laws that the king felt were necessary to keep the colonists in check. Well, everyone was fed up with it, so they wrote this. Good lord, here we go. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Jesus Christ. Look, so basically they're saying, look, we're at this point. It has come to this, dude. But out of common decency, we're going to tell you just how badly you screwed up and why we're leaving. Like, good lord, man. This is Great Britain we're talking about. This is one of the most powerful nations on the planet at the time. And they're just like, nah. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Meaning, duh. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms of which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. I'm reading this really angrily, but like, it sounds angry, because it is. All of that, what they just said, in layman's terms, they're saying people have certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, right? It's like, these are just a given, like, duh, dude. And that in order to make sure people have these rights, governments are established by the people to protect the people and to keep things in check. However, when the government doesn't do this, then the people are responsible for getting rid of that government and improving it. They even mention that people should not overthrow governments for just any old reason. No, it needs to be a very serious thing, because disorder is way more chaotic than a government with flaws. They're saying that this is so bad, what you're doing to us right now, that we need to start over and we need to ditch your ass. And in the next section, they provide a whole list as to why they're ticked off with the king. Here are all the things you did wrong. Here it all is, laid out for you to see and anyone else who wants to read it, and y'all can decide if we're right or wrong. But they're right. And this is a pretty comprehensive list, okay? It's the majority of the document. Let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... There are a lot of reasons, okay? It's kind of hard to count because, like, it's kind of divided into paragraphs, but then, like, there are reasons within the paragraphs. There's a lot, okay? There are a lot of reasons. And after they list all these reasons as to why the king sucks, they say, we, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, putting it out there. We're not even Britain anymore. We're not even your colonies. We're the United States of America. In General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have the full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract allies, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And they proceed to sign, every one of them. Sign, sign, sign. John Hancock, the big one on the top. Boom! Get roasted, King George. Just understand the full gravity of what they just did. They just wrote a letter to King George. A letter. And they're like, nah, bro, we're done with you. Which is an extreme oversimplification, I know, but oh my goodness, man. I don't know why I made this video. This channel, I don't even know what I'm doing with this channel. Maybe it's an audio channel. I don't know. Look, I'm currently working on a documentary about a very specific Mexican-American cuisine found in a particular region of Virginia. I don't know where I'm going with this channel, man. But I hope you got some enjoyment out of this little geek trip I had reading through the Declaration of Independence. I don't know who I'm talking to anyway. There's a camera in a room. Whoever's watching this, I don't know. What's up, Mom?